We have a groper in the White House, and he happens to be our groper in chief, Joe Biden. During the campaign, all these embarrassing pictures surfaced of Biden pawing and groping and smearing himself onto women, and in some cases, young girls, and the whole thing was very distasteful. But Biden is now engaging in a new form of groping. Let's think about what groping is, by the way. Groping is a form of pandering. It's a kind of disgusting form of appreciation. And Biden has been engaging in a new type of pandering by making ridiculous statements that I submit even he knows are flatly untrue. Here's his latest about men and women. Listen.
You know, I've told my daughters, granddaughters from the time they were old enough to understand what I was saying, and I mean it. There's not a single thing a man can do that a woman can't do as well or better. Not a single thing.
Debbie and I are actually both laughing because of the preposterousness of this statement. And what makes it even more comical is Biden's evident sincerity. He said, I'm serious. he even denies that he's joking. And yet we know that he knows that it's not true. This is what I think makes the whole thing so weird. Let's say that Biden thought it was true. Women are as good or better than men in everything. Well, what follows from that? I would say what follows from that is you need to have a cabinet that's all women because they're better in everything. Second, you need to have an all-female military because being better at everything, they're obviously better at fighting. So let's have all-female platoons and get rid of men in the military. In fact, we should only go to female doctors because, again, they're better at everything. In fact, why is Biden even the president? He should step down and give way to Harris. She's better because she's a woman.
Just wait.
Women are better than everything. Debbie goes, just wait. It's coming. That's the part of the plan. Now, you know, I don't, this is the kind of thing where I think men and women in reality have many complementary skills. Men are really good at certain things. Women are really good at certain things. Women are clearly more empathetic than men. If our home example is any indication, they're more organized than men. Women know how to get things done. Women are more conscious of the most important things. And the most important things are the simple things. Let's make sure we go to church on Sunday. Let's make sure that we have dinner on the table. Let's make sure that we take care of the children and that they are properly nourished and that they look after their health. I think women have, in general, a more balanced view of sexuality than men. Many years ago, a priest friend of mine said to me, he goes, you know, there's a male view of sexuality and there's a female view of sexuality. The Christian view is a lot closer to the female view. I thought a very insightful statement. Women in some ways more spiritually attuned on average than men. But you can't, these days, I don't want to say any of these things for the reason that you keep hearing these ridiculous statements by people like Biden. And it pushes you to the opposite direction. It pushes you to challenge Biden in a Socratic mode by saying the exact opposite. And so I want to push that idea for a moment because it's not just Biden. You know, there's Megan Rapinoe, the female soccer player. I demand equal pay because what I'm doing is just as great as what the men soccer players are doing. No, it's not. It actually isn't. You're not playing soccer as well as the men. You're playing soccer well for a woman. That's the key point. A reasonably good high school team, a male soccer team for high school in America could probably beat the women's soccer team. Now, do they deserve equal pay? Do they deserve to make what you're making, Megan Rapinoe? No. I've talked before on this podcast about the example of chess. Women are not better than men in chess. Of the top 100 players in the world, there is one woman, Wu Yifan, the Chinese player. She's about number 85. Now, you can say, well, chess is cultural, Dinesh. Well, yes, it is, in the sense that some countries play it more than others. Russians, for example, are really good at chess because they've been playing chess. It's like their cultural pastime, vodka and chess. But Russian women play chess. So this is not a male-female distinction. It explains why there are more Russian grandmasters than there are, for example, Indian grandmasters, although the number of Indian grandmasters is going up. Can you name a great female philosopher? Let's think about it. Debbie's laughing. I'm thinking, but I'm coming up blank, and I bet you are too. You'd have to go to really not just the second, but maybe the third rank. Simone de Beauvoir, who was sort of the live-in housemaid of Jean-Paul Sartre, and who was an important writer in her own right, but not in the league of Plato or Kant or Mill or Nietzsche or Heidegger. Virginia Woolf, many years ago, wrote an important book, and here it is. I have my copy. It's a slim volume, A Room of One's Own, in which Virginia Woolf examines a very interesting question. Why is there no female Shakespeare? And her answer is that the reason is that women have not been given historically a room of their own. They haven't had the opportunities, as men have, and they haven't been encouraged or educated, perhaps, to be writers in the mode of Shakespeare. That's why there isn't a female Shakespeare. But notice that while Virginia Woolf is giving a reason for why there's no female Shakespeare, she's also making kind of a candid admission. There is no female Shakespeare. So in other words, when it comes to the domain of literature and letters, at the top rank, she's saying, there aren't very many, if any, women, and here is the reason why. I find it interesting that even in fields where women historically have focused, fields like cooking. I don't know if I should be saying this, but the best chefs in the world, by and large, are men. Debbie, you have to admit it's true. I know you're laughing, but it is true that the top chefs, the top designers, they're men. So, Debbie's favorite restaurant has a male chef. Yes. So here's what it comes down to. We're just tired, I think, and we want to push back. The reason that this segment almost approaches misogyny is because there are many of us who are happy to vive la différence. Men and women both have a lot to contribute, but we're pushed to the other extreme by our revulsion against the kind of puerile nonsense that is coming out of the leader of the free world. I know he's not really all there, but if he's not all there, silence may be the best option as opposed to uttering stupidities that make the rest of us feel like we have to go to the other extreme.